let's try this again and hope OBS doesn't fuck it up again. I don't know. Tweaked out last time I tried recording it and screwed it up. So, uh, we got a new developer update. And I have no idea why they've done some of these changes and the way they've done it. Right, so earlier this month we launched our largest balance patch to date, making changes to 40 perks including the meta and various base game mechanics. With such a major shakeup, we've been keeping an extra close eye on feedback and performance since the update released to ensure that nothing got out of hand. Now that we've had a chance to see how things play out, we've prepared our first follow-up round of changes to fine-tune the balance. Please note that the tweaks listed are by no means the only changes we may make. We'll continue monitoring and adjusting things based on your feedback. Thana! Thanatophobia. Following the mid-chapter update, Thana quickly rose in popularity, and it's easy to see why. Between the increased numbers on the perk itself and the longer baseline generator repair time, Thanatophobia now slows down generators pretty significantly, particularly with killers who have an easier time keeping multiple survivors injured. This can make Thana feel a little oppressive, especially when paired with other slow down perks. To address this, Thana is now receiving a rework. Each injured, dying, or hooked survivor will now provide up to a 2% action speed penalty. If all 4 survivors are in the injured, dying, or hooked state, it's an additional 12%. This is horrible. There's a couple reasons for why this is horrible. Now, I've never checked, but what happens when a survivor dies, right? So, does this mean the moment someone's out of the match, Thana is now just going to be maxed out at 6%? That's useless. That's utterly useless garbage. And the thing is, you're going to be getting like a 2%, 4%. Like, they've made this perk useless unless you're able to keep up so much pressure, keeping everyone injured at all times, to really get any value out of this. The effort is just not worth it, in my opinion. I don't even know if this is worth it on Legion. Like, maybe Legion. Plague, yeah. I could see Plague. But no one else is gonna ever want to run this perk ever again. It's just horrible. It's just, I don't understand. Medal of Man. This one legitimately baffles me. I'm gonna go into why I think they thought a change may have been needed, and go over my opinion on it. With the endurance status effect updated, Medal of Man continues to be an outlier. While it provided a similar effect to endurance, the perk does not deactivate when performing a conspicuous action. This is by design, which is reflected in the perk's description, not mentioning endurance. Since activating Medal is so difficult, it wouldn't be fair to lose your hard-earned progress so easily. We wanted to clear up the inconsistency and give Medal of Man a slight rework while we were at it. Taking 2 protection hits will now activate Medal of Man, granting the endurance status effect. While the endurance effect is active, your aura is revealed to the killer when they are further from 16 meters away. Like other endurance effects, performing a conspicuous action will cause it to deactivate prematurely, and will not protect you from entering the dying state if you already have deep wounds. With this change, Medal will now work exactly like other endurance perks, forcing the survivor to make a choice between saving the Medal of Man and working on generators. Since this will make it a little weaker, we've also reduced the number of protection hits required to compensate. The aura reading effect is also active immediately rather than after you heal, allowing the killer to anticipate Medal of Man and plan accordingly. We believe these changes will have made the perk both easier to use and more interesting to play around. No one's going to run it because it is horrible. Okay. So I think the reason why they changed this is because since it was basically almost endurance, but not quite endurance. But and I'm not sure if this was how it worked before, but I think it may have actually been able to save you from entering the dying state if you already were in the deep wounds, since it wasn't technically the endurance status effect. But no matter what, I think the part that makes me just so confused is this part right here. Since activating Medal of Man is so difficult, it wouldn't be fair to lose your hard-earned protection so easily. So instead, we have taken 1/3 of the perk's, thing of 3, dropped it down to 2, and make it super easy to lose if you do anything that progresses the game whatsoever. Making this perk useless? Like, I don't understand. And now the killer also is going to know that you have Medal because they're going to see your aura from more than 16 meters away. I, this is horrible. This is actually so bad. And it baffles me that they were like, yeah, this is a good change. We wanted to make probably one of the harder perks in the game that's at least rewarding for survivors if they manage to actually get what needs to be done a little less difficult for a really horrible trade-off of making it not good at all. I don't like this perk at all anymore. It doesn't seem good by any means. Pain Resonance, Merciless Storm, and Dead Man Sweats. Pain Resonance was changed that it no longer forces survivors to momentarily stop repairing the gens. This prevented Dead Mans from activating. The killer would need to chase them off manually instead of just relying on a perk to take them off. However, this caused an unexpected combination to appear. Since the new version allowed survivors to continue working on the generator, Merciless Storm would continue spawning skill checks after the generator regressed. To remedy this, they are making Pain Resonance kick you back off gens. And since this brings Dead Man's back, they're dropping it to 30 seconds instead of 45 in order to make the perk combo less oppressive. So, they're nerfing a perk because of a perk combo that it's in. And only because of that. And they're not even nerfing the one, like, they removed this combo because it was meta, and then they bring back that meta because it caused a new weird interaction, and instead of working out Merciless Storm's interaction with that, maybe make it so that, you know, if a generator regressed while Merciless Storm was active, it would deactivate Merciless Storm on that generator, but make it be able to reactivate when the gen hit that 90% again. I don't know if that would be too difficult to code in. Maybe it would, you know. Or maybe something else like just if the generator regressed while Merciless Storm was active. I don't know. It's got to be something you'd be able to do. Instead of bringing back Pain Resonance Deadmans again. Like, that is such a questionable move on Behavior's decision, and I've been all for them listening to the community and making changes and stuff. I just don't know if they're doing it in the right way. I don't know if anyone's complaining about Medal of Man being a problem, and I don't think this was the way to do it, because now this perk I think is even worse than it was before. Thana was complained about a lot, and then they've kind of gutted it to this point where it's useless in my opinion. Especially since it's literally if all four. And I don't think Dead counts as any of these. So if not, then once Survivor's out, you're not going to get anything impactful out of Thana. You get what used to be one stack, basically. Clown's back. Orange glyphs are disabled. And they won't be able to make this update for matchmaking incentives, but they'll be back eventually. Okay, yeah, sure. So, Clown's back. Cool. Orange glyphs are disabled, and they've been swapped out for a different challenge, probably glyph based. Cool. I just don't think the perk changes were good. I think Thana probably could have used a numbers tweak, maybe drop it back down to 20%, and that probably would have still been too high with the changes to gen speed. So maybe make it a 15%, you know? Make it like a 3.5, right? So then you would have been 3.5. Then 7. So I mean, it would be actually 14%. Sorry, not 15%, but at 14%, that would have been still decent. They'd be over double what New Thana was gonna be at. I don't know. Yeah, that or maybe have it be like 16 instead, though. You know, like just for fucking 4 things. You know, up to 16%. Boom, 16% Thana. Probably would have been about the same as 20% Thana from before. Even if it wasn't exact, maybe it was a little more, maybe it was a little less. That would have been fine. And Thana would have been Thana. Nope, they did this weird-ass change and made it kind of just not actually any good anymore. Medal of Man, again, I don't get it. I don't get what they did. I'm baffled. I'm genuinely so baffled at this change here. I don't think that they did this to anything. And also, what also surprises me is, for example, people have been complaining a lot about the DS chains and how the DS numbers of the stun duration being 3 seconds is not at all any good. You know, it needs to be probably turn back to 5, and that's not even addressed here. They said that they wanted to keep an extra close eye, nothing out of hand, keep an extra close eye on the feedback and performance, obviously. Now they've seen how things play out, this is the first follow-up, so it is possible it's due for some others. I don't want to give them too much shit for not including in this one. I'm just surprised because they don't say that this is a guaranteed going to be follow-ups, right? And it just seems like that was something I think people complained about a lot, and for good reason. I know they want DS to be less run because it was so common, but it's also a perk the game kind of needs. Anti-tunnel perks are what the game kind of needs to stop that. To at least some degree, punish it somewhat. And I feel like that should have, in my opinion, been here. Instead, we just get metal getting nerfed. And I don't think I've heard anyone talking about that, but even if they wanted to, nerf it to some degree, I think that maybe an entire rework, instead of making it still something relatively difficult to get and go away like snap your fingers. I don't think Medal of Man should ever be something that you should lose by being able to put all the work into actually getting a perk, right? You have to actually work to get this perk to activate, and then you can just lose it for no reason. Sure, I can understand that for a lot of other perks, like Borrowed Time, you just had to unhook someone and they gained it, right? Off the record, you got unhooked. Woo, you did so much. It's like, I can get some of these, Dead Hard, you pressed a button. Metal, you have to go out of your way to try and activate. I think that they should respect this perk and give it a better chance. Maybe make it so that it's able to increase the duration of any endurance status effects on you after you've done that whole take 2 protection hits. So instead of giving you endurance, right, your metal makes it so that endurance lasts for a certain amount of time longer. That we could run this like Dead Hard, right, for example, and then bait people by making them think Dead Hard's over, and then, no, I have metal! I don't know. And then obviously bringing back something from the old meta I don't think was a good change. But thank you guys so much. See you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.